Alright guys, what's up, what's up? It is 9:01, it is July 7th, it is Friday. Doing a quick little 6:30 from 9 o'clock, so I wanted to see what the numbers were. You guys know the drill, let's get to it. My name is Scott Redler, I am the Chief Executive Officer for Free Live out of my showroom office. Doing the 6:30 club for everybody that wants to tune in pretty much with the pandemic, trying to let everyone in a little bit on my process, how you prepare for the day. By getting up early, by taking accountability, by getting prepared, by having a plan. Usually I start off with 6 o'clock with an iced coffee, and then I move to my green drink and my ginger drink, which we'll get into. Start off with a little sauna cold plunge. I've already had to block like 4 people that were upset with me for doing a little video from the ice bath. Well, why are you showing a little skin? I'm like, come on. Anyway, yesterday was a tricky day. Some of us were a little extra long because we held above that Friday gap for a while. If you look right here, remember these, 3 days where it looked like we were hovering here, where we were holding the gap. Well, then yesterday they shook the tree down, hit 437. So what did that do? Probably stopped a lot of people out of loose longs. I call it uncommitted longs. So I got out of some of my uncommitted longs because, it's been a great run. And at some point, we have to have some kind of corrective phase, and it usually starts with something a little bit like a trap. And yesterday was a little trappy, even though we came off those lows. At this point, some people are like, hey, Red Dog, what's happening with with the market? Why are the spies getting hit right now? Spies right now are down $1.16. Numbers were a little softer. It was a little mixed. The headline numbers were softer, but wage growth was a little bit higher. Pretty much something for everyone, but the bottom line is if sellers want to use this as an excuse to take some risk off after an enormous first half move, because we did have a really big move in the spies and the Qs. So, heading into earnings season, sometimes I like to discount things a little bit, but we'll see. As of right now, the spies are 438.46. Yesterday's low is 437. That's your point of reference. So if you want to simplify it, instead of looking for a recession, instead of looking for I don't know, reasons to to get in or get out or get bullish or bearish. Just look for your levels and look for setups. And right now, the setups aren't so great. There's still things to do, but you have to really like pick your battles, especially considering it's July 7th. It's summertime. We just had July 4th. This is a time where you want to be in the beach, you want to be in the mountains, you want to be getting your fitness in. But if you're going to be here, you better be prepared because the last thing you want to do is give back money for no reason. So you want to be prepared. So at this point, again, you have 438.42 spies are getting a little hit right here. This is your point of reference. If that doesn't hold, the 21 days there, and then the prior high here is 431, which I wouldn't think happens. At least today. Here's a chart of the spies. Some people like Red Dog. When did this active sequence start for you? Well, really started here. May 29th is when we broke above this wedge pattern, and then there were a bunch of spots to kind of re-energize the move. So anyway, that's that. Let's get into today. So the Qs, very similar. Tech has led the way, and although everyone's like, money's going to rotate to the small caps, money's rotating to energy, this and that. Bottom line is the market's not, comfortable when they're selling tech in lieu of the small caps and the banks and this and that. So the bottom line is here's a new point of reference in the Qs, 364.52, which is playing with the 8-day, but above the 21-day. At this point, the spies and the Qs are right now down 60 cents. So right now we're packing and filling a little bit. Okay, I think next week the more important data is going to be the CPI on Wednesday. So I think today's news probably isn't enough for us to break yesterday's lows, but we'll have to see what's happening with the leaders and whatnot. So just to really give you a little bit of a look here. So this was the small caps. This is what everyone said was going to outperform, moving forward. And although there's been some decent trades here in the IWM, starting from here, it should never really falling below the 8-day. Look how fast from 189 down to 180. So with that being said, sometimes you get a trade. It doesn't mean it's going to be a trend, and the small caps are not a trend. Okay, they're a trade. And keep taking trades until they really prove you can stick with them. Same thing with energy. This isn't 2022. The XLE, if you look at the chart, is a whole choppy mess. Okay, and if you look here, you had a mid from the low end of the range into resistance, and then it broke back below. A whole lot of nothing. Not really a headwind. It's just something you're not getting paid to sit in. When you're an active trader, you want to be in things that act special. You want to be in things that make higher highs and higher lows over time, where you can buy dips, play through points. And there are certain sequences when that's the case, and then there's some when you just need to kind of love it and leave it. Like maybe like college. No, we didn't do that in college. Anyway, so what are some things to look at today? Apple, right? Apple has been one of the best in breed, awesome names. It's not a bear market bounce when something makes a historic high, and Apple has been tremendous. Lots of ways to approach it. I actually bought, in power plays, we sold Apple last Friday at 194. So yesterday I bought some back. It gave us a relative strength signal right around 1120 yesterday that when the spies made a new low, Apple was way above it. So that was decent. It was just up 50 cents. I trimmed some. I'm using, a tier system. I'm not married to anything right now. I want to be tactical. I have the Prez Golf outing on Monday, which is my favorite outing. Um, my friend Steven passed away when he was 30. It's his 20-year, holy shit, 20 years since he passed away. So that's why I'm always like, you better love your life because it can get taken any time. So with that being said, Apple right now is up 50 cents. It's down 29 cents. Not the end of the world. I don't expect things to run away. There's no reason for things to run away. So that means you have to be very, very precise. Even Tesla. If you look here, it still has go-to status. Okay, we've been very, very active with Tesla. It was in a bear trend pretty much until this day. May 17th, it kind of switched again, and then it took out this ascending trend line, gave you a little bit of an outside day to reduce, gave you a way to get back involved. I was in a decent call spread for actually today from last week for the deliveries, and that worked pretty well. And now I'm just long small. I want to see if Tesla could hang here, go sideways, and continue to make it easier to hold and buy dips. If it can't, you know what? I'll do less here. But if the market's going to be pressured, it's going to be hard for Tesla to continue to make higher lows and higher highs in the sequence. I kind of think if you go to the weekly chart of Tesla, you'll see. First of all, I told you when to take risk off. That was back in September 19, 2022, or here, both those red dog reversal sells. And then this is when it got good again, right around this 189. Obviously, if you were a bottom feeder, that's a whole other story, which we are as active traders. But anyway, this could be, you have to be a little careful. This could wind up being a topping tail. If all of a sudden, Tesla's down $4 or $5 today, this could be a topping tail into resistance after a big move. So if the market wants to be in a corrective phase, then some of the leaders are going to have to correct also. They'll hopefully correct less. If we're going to hold here in the SPYs, right now the SPYs are down a buck in change. If we're going to hold today and go kind of green, then I would expect Apple, Tesla, Amazon, to hang around, etc. So there are names that I still think have go-to status that I think you could try and manage, and other names to be careful with. You go back to the daily chart. You know, so this is your point of reference now. 272 can't get too bearish if it holds 272. If it does, it can go sideways, and then at some point the market doesn't fall apart. Perhaps it takes that out. I think Microsoft is also go-to status. Microsoft gave you a way to get in post earnings, which we spoke about right here, besides the prior move. And then it's been in a great sequence here. Most guys got out. It was extended from the 8-day. You're allowed to trade these things. And then it pulled in and trying to rebuild. So the question is, can this hold above 334 to maybe take out 343 at some point to continue? Okay, so Microsoft is go-to status with an Apple, with a Tesla. Amazon's lagging a little bit, Google's lagging a little bit. Meta, they sold the strength yesterday in Meta, so I'd be a little, just look at this frozen rope pattern. Meta's been friggin' on this rope, climbing it the whole way. It's been awesome. Yesterday it was above 300 on the Threads news and then sold down. So the question is, are they going to sell the news and will it break this trend, which is one of the generals of this overall market right now? So you have to figure that out. 291.34 is yesterday's low. Okay, right now it's playing with it. It's right here. Good morning to you from Punjab. Punjab is watching the 6:30 club. So is Caracas. By the way, these are all level twos. I'm an old school friggin' trader from 1997. I have 6 monitors. My monitor here and here have 8 of these things. So I get to see the price action I do on my chart work before. My eyes are moving. I'm a little ADHD, keeps me engaged. And then right above it, I have charts and these also kind of they correlate to like 5 minute charts. So I can like click on Apple and that's going to turn to Apple. I can click on Meta, it's going to turn to Meta. So you have to have the right trading setup. Trading setups are key so you can follow the action. But anyway, so I'm raising these up into the daily area. So I'll put these back down right now. You can go spies, then you can go 2 hour chart, and then you can do five. It's like these are all up when the market's trading. So anyway, spies right now are only down 66 cents. I would think we hold in there today. Not enough fuel to fall apart, but you have to be very careful with your stuff. What's Jose saying? Listen, this is the alpha team right here. Here is the alpha team. They get to talk and interact with me all day. Jose, Barron's online article last night pointed to 4 farmer names that are too cheap. Buy the, oh, okay. Here's Pooty. Pooty gave a great call yesterday. Watch this. I could talk and they could hear. Pooty, what was the call yesterday that everybody's making money on this morning? Let's see. I can't tell you. There you go. Baba and Rivian. 2 great names. Rivian I gave you guys a while ago, but yesterday you had conviction on Baba thinking that there could be a ruling. And then, look at Baba now. Baba is, up 3%. I personally have not had a lot of success lately with Baba, but there are times to do it. And basically, Baba yesterday did show some relative strength. In a sea of red, Baba actually went green, and that hasn't happened in a while. So someone always knows something. That's why the price action doesn't lie. So if you look at here, from Baba, Baba, did a little red dog reversal into support, came up, gave you a green candle, so it was worth it. Most guys took options because this stock's been a battleground and too hard to trade. But anyway, nice move. As far as Rivian, all of you guys in the 6:30 club, you got to say, I said a month ago that Rivian was going to play catch up, and thank goodness sometimes you have to pay a little bit more premium. So if you remember here for today, not a lot of people still have them on. Right here, I was thinking we're going to break above 16, and I bought options because I just wanted to make sure I don't overtrade the stock. And then this happened. That was gross. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm going to keep the options on. And then it came back to life. And then PS, I was away in the Catskills and it was up 2.5. I'm like, wow, we just made 300% on our calls, sold some, and some guys are selling the rest of them today. But yesterday, look at this relative strength candle yesterday. Relative strength in a sea of red. That's why some traders took it home long. Everyone's like, oh, it's risky, it's Rivian, it's broken. Well, it's changing a little bit. And now you look at Rivian, it's up $1.12, and you're getting paid 5% for looking for a setup, not rates or a ceiling rate at 6% or a recession in a year from now, or what Mike Wilson says, or this or that. You're looking for setups to net money as a trader, so you can get paid monthly or quarterly. But anyway, that was a nice setup. So when the setups are there, you got to kind of go with it, and you have to make sure that you know how to play them, net money, and not get too overly involved. So with that said, today we'll see how it goes. Again, we have points of references, points of from yesterday. We have price discovery, which is 437. I would think, I'm just guessing, I would think this holds today. If it doesn't, and you put on a few little things versus that level, then you have to stop yourself out. Okay, if it holds and goes green, you'll see where the relative strength is. We know what was kind of good yesterday. And I will have less things on. I've been massaging 8 to 14 positions probably since May-ish. And then, yesterday I wound up getting stopped out at 6 or 7 of them and it hurt a little bit. And now, I'm in like 3 or 4 that I'm going to try and massage. And if all of a sudden you're not getting paid actively to hold things, then we'll just be tactical, make cash flow, have a low gross, low net. You know what low gross, low net means? Low gross, low net? Anybody know? Anybody? Any? Well, it means you do a little less shares, a little less positions. You make a little less, but you lose a little less when you're trying to figure out what the next move in the market is. If someone tells you I know what the next move is, don't listen to that guy because that's his opinion. Have multiple plans on what could happen. Okay, if this, then that. If that, then this. It doesn't sound so sophisticated, but traders aren't that sophisticated. Anyway, let's do a shot together. If this was Thursday at 4:30, could have been a shot of something else, but usually right around 9 o'clock, I do a shot of ginger, and I'll tell you, it's good for the body. It's good for everything, in my humble opinion. Yes. Anyway, little things that keep your process going. For me, my refresh is in the morning with the sauna, about 300 reps. Then I go into the ice barrel. I think about what positions I have, what the futures are doing, what happened overnight, what I'm going to look at. I internalize it. Then I come here. I do about 40 charts. I upload them to the Alpha team to Redler All Access. I do a few to the public, do the 6:30 club, do the note, and then I get ready to trade. And by 11:30, I'm a shell of myself. So I usually leave, put some stops in on my positions. If the trade changes, I go back. I do a Peloton class. Sometimes I run on the reservation with my dog. Today I'm going to go with Chase. I'm going to make sure that he gets up. He's got to do some quad work. He's got to do some hill work. Big tryouts for high school lacrosse next week. Anyway, for the record, that is not a liquor shot. No, this is not a liquor shot. This is ginger. And what I do is I usually wash it down with a green drink. I drink half of it and I fill it with water for the morning, and I'm always sipping on a green drink. No liquor this early in the morning. If I was on a plane on my way out on vacation, it might look like a Bloody Mary mix, but not today. Anyway, good luck today, guys. Enjoy your summer. Enjoy life. Because when your number's called, you're going to have a lot of regrets, and regrets are heavy. You don't want them when you can't just control what you can control anymore. Be well, guys.